still in my clap from Alex Rudd there. Is that a like Les Miles clap? So that maybe. So it was a really exciting day yesterday. I got my Monster Bass in the mail. This is the May Monster Bass bag, as you guys see. And this is going to be a two-part video. One, I'm going to go through what all came in the bag, talk about a few things they're doing a little different. And then I've been watching some videos of some other people do these openings, and I'm going to do a very in-depth price analysis in the second part. I'm actually going to go inside the computer. I have made a spreadsheet with prices of what Monster Bass says these items cost and what I found them for. And then we will review whether it is a good deal or not. I will say I don't know if you're buying this because it's a good deal as much as you are either a fisherman who is new, and this probably goes for all the tackle monthly services, and you're looking for tackle that is what you may need. Or two, you're like me, you can see a little bit of my stuff behind me. I'm gonna sit in the boat and I've got a ton of stuff in here. I've got shelves up there. You're kind of looking for some stuff that maybe you wouldn't buy normally and you're wanting to try it out. If you watched my video from, I think I uploaded a couple days ago from Cherokee Lake, I caught some fish on some things, some colors specifically that I would not have picked out if I was just scrolling through Tackle Warehouse or walking in a Bass Pro. So let's get started. So first thing is I'm going to cover the number on here. I don't know. I mean, I guess this could be the winner of something. This is the golden ticket, and it came in my Monster Bass bag. It looks like there's a live on YouTube 7 o'clock on Thursday. And if your number is called, it says you can win gift cards, rods, reels, bait bundles. You must be present to win. I got really excited when I saw this. I thought I'm going to the Monster Bass place, and if I don't do something wrong, then I get to keep the place or something. I don't know. So next thing is the actual first bait here. This is an X-Zone. This is a drop shot bait. This is the Pro Series Slammer. It is green pumpkin, blue flake, and like I said, this is probably not a color I would have picked out. But I took a look at it earlier, and it's got, I don't know if you can see, it's got a little bit of a shine to it, and this should be good here. Is it at the dark enough color? I think that with the rain recently, I can go out tomorrow and fish can find that. But it has just enough sparkle to it maybe that even on a day when there's a little bit of sun or a little bit of water clarity, basically, obviously I'm in the bass boat, but I kayak fish a lot, so I need something that can serve multiple instances I may be fishing in. Also got the $10 off Detour sunglasses. This is this month's sticker. Just kind of going through some things pretty quick. This is the bonus bait, or the surprise bait, I think they call it, for this month. This is more of the color changing baits. I will talk more about this in a few minutes, but when I talk about it at the price comparison part, I wanted to show you what exactly this worm looks like. It is just a plain, I think now people call them a swimming worm, but when I was growing up, they were just a worm. So, something about these is a surprise bait. You can win up to $50, I believe it says. I'll go to the pamphlet here. Yeah, so surprise bait. And if you take a picture and tag it with Surprise Monster or the better box, you can win a $50 Monster Bass gift card. This little guy right here should catch some fish. I mean, it's a worm. I'll probably dive the tail, maybe, depending on the water conditions. But overall, it looks really good. Next bait is the Big Bite Baits Kamikaze. And this is another situation where it's a color that I may not have chosen, but I want to show you why they sent this color in a moment. But it looks really good. It's got a twin tail to it, and it will pair perfectly with this Mustad bladed jig. It's a vibrating jig, and it is a, I would probably call this color smoke. This calls it bluegill, ½ ounce. So should be really good this time of year here as the bluegill start to really kick up and start to spawn. I don't know where we are with the bluegill spawn. We've had a lot of cold weather here in East Tennessee lately. But, you know, typically start seeing some of those spring full moons this time of year. I'll check that out. I've never seen a must-have bladed jig. It's got a really good 2 keepers there and also a weed guard. So that's one of those old school weed guards with the, you know, it comes unloaded. Looks like the skirt has a silicone ring, so it's not hand tied. The blade has, and something I learned recently is if you notice this connection here, you see that there? Between the blade and the head is where chatterbait has their patent. So like this can't be called a chatterbait, but if you notice it connects a little differently than a chatterbait would. But, and also it has those holes in the blade there. Chatterbaits don't have that. But I think this will pair, and we'll put it on here right now. I'll just kind of show you what it would look like. Pair very nicely. So, great job on selection there. Got a Lunker Hunt sticker. Interesting, there's no Lunker Hunt baits in here. I don't know if I've ever gotten one from MonsterBass. Also got this Vicious SC70 shallow running crankbait. It runs 2 to 4 feet. It is a square bill, kind of. It's a squarish bill. It's color perch. I don't know if it will matter necessarily as much as those stripes on the sides will matter as much as the fact that it's white on the bottom and got a little bit of color on the top. And that should do pretty good around here. And then we got a frog made by Raptor. My son's a dinosaur fanatic, so he will love that packaging. And lastly, got a Kvd Spinnerbait. I did watch the MonsterBass video about what was going to be in this month's bags, and the spinnerbait looked a little different, but I like this one though. And funny is, I think I have or had one maybe this color. KVD is a real big fan of throwing a little bit of red. There's a little bit of red you can maybe see on their baits. And of course, lastly, oh wait, I said lastly we got the bag, but have some really nice, let me adjust this real quick. A little bit higher, there we go. So, got these really nice drop shot hooks, maybe it'll focus for us. And these have the eyelet at the bottom, and then so you can see the diagram. There's the, you pass your line through there, and there's your eyelet, and that should keep the hook standing straight out as the back of the packet suggests. So now we're going to go inside, and I'm going to show an evaluation of the actual cost. Is it a good deal? Is it not? And see what we come up with. In the second part, where I want to talk about some prices. So this is a Google Doc that I created, and I'd be glad to send this to anybody who's really interested. But we go through all the items here. You can see the bladed jig here, MonsterBass list $9. I found it for $8.99. I won't go through all of these. I wanted to point out a few things though. So one thing I did notice is this Vicious crankbait. They listed as $9. I couldn't find it anywhere except for I found a different model on the Mystery Tackle Box website for $3. But I do recall this may be an exclusive to MonsterBass Bait. I kind of split the difference and said, okay, it's $6. The other one that I had a little bit of issue with was the surprise bait. I put it at $7.50. MonsterBass didn't have anything listed. They just had 0. So I found a Smart Baits website here. I could not find these Smart Baits sold anywhere except for Amazon and a few websites that I'd never heard of before. But the 16 pack was $15, I believe it was. So I split that in half and said, let's say it is $7.50. So it's probably a little bit high just because typically you don't pay the same dollars or the same amount for each lure in larger packs as you do smaller ones. But just for the sake of argument, let's leave that where it is. The other ones all pretty much lined up. I mean, we're talking pennies. Also, the bait bag was not listed on the MonsterBass card, but I found like a Tackle Warehouse bag was $10. The Guggen Squad bags are $10. A lot of them are about $10, and I measured and they are the same size. So the Monster Bass price, if you follow their guide, was $51.39. But if you go to Tackle Warehouse and buy all of that, it's about $57.23. The actual cost of the box was $35.99. So you can see if you were to buy this on just the web, it looks like your savings would be about $21.24. And if you did savings based on Monster Bass prices, it would be about $15.40. Again, the X factors being there, the vicious crankbait, that bait bag, and that surprise lure, the color change worms. So one thing I noticed on a video from April's box is people were complaining about the Monster Bass jerkbait, but of course no Monster Bass branded items here. And the complaint there is that it's Monster Bass, not Mega Bass, and Monster Bass probably is not paying as much for that lure. I don't know. It looked like a good jerkbait to me. I'm not defending them either way, but I thought it was interesting to go through and find out how good of a deal it was. So just going to close this video out. You can see I'm in the office, and there's my kids' stuff like all behind me. So just real quick, thanks for watching, and if you haven't already, be sure to like, subscribe, turn on the alert button, share, send me $20. I don't know, ransack my enemies' houses. I don't know, but thanks for watching.